Hello and welcome to the Extreme Z Podcast, the only Dokkan podcast making your favorite talk show format relevant again. I'm your host, Epic Mewtwo, aka Dokkan Assets.
And I'm your co-host, Kevon.
And welcome to episode 48 of the Extreme Z Podcast. How y'all doing on this fine Sunday evening? I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. Literally.
Almost that 50 episode.
Almost there, bro. We got something special in the works for that one, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But this is kind of an ironic topic considering you decided to bring up episode 50. Today we are actually going to be talking about the opposite about being excited for Dokkan and I suppose other Dokkan related things. And that's burnout in Dokkan. This is a topic that we've wanted to talk about for a fat minute. And I think it'll be interesting because I know I have a lot to say on the topic. I don't know if you already have some thoughts prepared.
I can make my way through the conversation. I think I'm fine.
Like Game Phillip, I can make this work.
Exactly.
Anyway, before we get into our topic for today, though, of course, we have our news to go over. Not too much. I know it seems like we say that every time, but I think there's actually not that much since the last episode.
Go on and sell, basically.
Or sell?
Frieza.
Technically, you're not wrong, though, because we did get that Cell Awakening.
True, I forgot about that, actually.
Nonetheless, though.
Cell on Kamehameha when he does the beam. Yeah, it totally should be on Kamehameha, right?
No idea what you're talking about. Anyway.
Basically, his SSR had Kamehameha. His doesn't use Kamehameha, but he's still in the category.
Kevon, I was being sarcastic.
Bruh.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall. No, but we had the Frieza event teased, and we had the brand new free-to-play Frieza event teased as well, with the brand new free-to-play first form Frieza that goes into Golden Frieza and Sorbet. Screw that little Blueberry. All the homies hate it. Blueberry is a way better version of Sorbet anyway. But
you mean Berry Blue?
Oh yeah, I forgot that's the character section. Isn't it in the Japanese version? Is it not? Is her name not just Blueberry?
I'm pretty sure it's Berry Blue because I would not know. I'm googling it now.
Okay. We got the little promotional image for Frieza, which was pretty cool. Him, closing out his eyes and being Frieza type stuff. We did also have a very, very cool little addition as a little tack-on meme to the whole 350 million download celebration. By the way, if you missed the last episode, we talked about that and how maybe there wasn't as little content as you thought, but it was a very interesting thought experiment. Go check it out, shameless plug. But we also had a little thank you for the campaign type of meme come out. And not only was there 30 dragon stones given, we also got the wallpaper that we didn't know what was actually going to happen with it, which was really cool. This was the wallpaper that was based on the illustration from that one chapter of Dragon Ball where I believe the original illustration is Boo is holding up everybody in the Boo Saga, and it's on a platform that says Dragon Ball, and all the homies are chilling on top. They did change it a little bit, though, because Boo would have kind of been cut off by the bottom menu, and now Blue, yes, I got Blueberry on the mind. Boo is flying in a UFO in the background, and not only that, what's so cool about it is this is only the second animated wallpaper after the Christmas wallpaper. Boo actually goes, back around the screen, I guess, so to speak, over and over, which is super cool. And this is such a nice wallpaper as well. So it's really cool that this was just like free for everybody. It was very nice. Very much enjoy it, and I really hope that they do more animated wallpapers, but it was very nice to see that they were just like, yeah, here, have it.
A little interesting tidbit too is that Boo on the UFO is also another reference.
Oh, really?
To like one of the manga volumes where it has him on a UFO in the cover.
Interesting.
So double reference right there.
I mean, isn't he technically an alien?
You're an alien.
I'm an alien? Am I an alien? Probably. Where's my brother? Anyway, speaking of aliens, we had Piccolo promoting the brand new update for Dokkan with him gesturing at the version number, which was pretty cool. Hey, look at the new version.
What kind of segue was that? My goodness.
Got him. This was a very simple update, but a very, very cool update nonetheless. Version 4.12.0. We had the addition of something that I never thought that I needed, but now that I like have it, I'm like, yes, I needed this all my life. Basically,
we needed but didn't deserve.
Yeah, for real, bro. So basically, when you hold down a key path, it tells you how many orbs you're going to be able to collect. It has a little number at the end, and then your key gauge will fill up at the bottom for however much key you will get. And what's so cool is that the key gauge at the bottom actually does represent if a character, like, for example, right, the third year LRs get extra key for rainbow orbs or whatever, right? It'll actually show you how much key you're actually going to get from the key path at the bottom, but it will just show you the number of orbs at the top. So really, really nice feature. That'll be really good for, you know, imbeciles like me who can't figure out how much key the character is actually going to get. And it'll also be great for new players who maybe don't understand how the mechanics work, or, you know, it'll kind of incline people to check their cards, because I'm sure they'll see, you know, oh, 8 key. Wait, why am I getting 12? What's happening here, you know? So
gone are the days with counting.
Yeah, exactly, bro. All of your training in preschool, unnecessary to play Dokkan now.
Exactly.
The other really cool thing that they added in this update, though, and I kind of can't believe that they did this, to be honest, but they separated Elder Kai's and Hercule statues into their own separate box space, so they don't count towards your main like card character box space anymore. And they also have their own box space, which is unlimited, which is really cool.
Nice.
So Grand Kai's, any type of Zenny statue, and any type of, you know, Elder Kai is in there, which is super, super cool. This was crazy. Like, I did the box cleaning stream before this happened, and I cleaned out like 100 box space. And then when this came along, I swear to you, bro, I got like 113 or something like extra box space because I just had that many variations of Elder Kai's in there. And now they're in their own little section. Yeah, so very nice, because that'll give literally anybody who has Kai's just a ton of extra box space. And also you won't be having to struggle to, you know, keep up with that. So very, very nice little update. Very, very good stuff. They always hold it down with the quality of life updates, which is much appreciated.
Yeah, honestly, never a bad quality of life update with Dokkan.
Facts. We did get a maintenance notice for JP Dokkan, which was quite interesting. This brought about the brand new update. And interestingly enough, this update brought a lot more than just the new stuff that was coming to Dokkan. Let me tell you what.
What?
There was a lot of things that happened that were changes to the actual application in the background. And a lot of it was actually effective towards mods and stuff of that nature to the game. We had basically, what is it called? Safety Net, which is a technical anti-cheat system, basically, where it just makes it harder for people to be able to mod the game and do whatever they want. Unfortunately, that can't keep the Dokkan community down, because people have already broken through it, rather, I guess I should say past tense at this point. So it'll be interesting to see what goes forward with that. It is kind of ironic, all things considered, that like I know it's more so of a thing that's like I know it's more so of a thing. It's like they're trying to prevent cheating, but at the same time, in a weird kind of way, I almost feel like it kind of has the opposite effect, because all of the people who had already existing mods for Dokkan and the creators of Uni Dokkan and like Hydros, who works on Trident and all that stuff, I literally saw them go so ham in an attempt to get around this new thing in the APK. So, kind of ironic that it sort of had the opposite effect, because to my knowledge, everything is back up and running now, which is crazy.
I thought Carrie had said that safety net was unpassable.
That's what you thought.
I mean, fair enough.
Also, with Carrie's Blade 5, that's a little bit different, only because
they. I'll just go they. Just keep it general. They said that even Trident would be hard to run. Funny enough, they actually said it in your too. Link to the Discord in the description.
Hey, let's go with the plug, baby. But no, I was talking about more so with I almost said Dokkan again, with Blade 5, that Carrie decided to shut it down on his own terms, ironically enough, the day before the update came out. But Hydros already has Trident back up and running, and not like an officially released update, but he has it running on his own end already. So I don't know, man.
Because it's the previous version.
Maybe. I don't know, man. They're geniuses. What can I say? They got some.
I'll see if I can get the tweets for after the podcast video.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyhow.
Nonetheless, though, it'll be interesting to see where Dokkan modding goes from here, because obviously with that update, it made things a little bit harder. It actually even made things a little bit harder for me because they changed some files up that the data mine program that I used actually used to get assets. And, of course, the homie who works on that also found a way around it, so it doesn't even really matter. Quite persistent, of course, but nonetheless, though, that was quite interesting that they added that in this update. Besides all of the shenanigans of the community kind of just finding workarounds for every single thing that they may put in our way, on some Gurren Lagann type stuff, bro. If there's a wall in our way, we smash right through it. It's interesting to see that not that they finally took notice, because I'm sure that they were aware of Trident and Dokkan for a while, but I think it's interesting that they really didn't do much about modding, except for obviously modding in the World Tournament until now, because they've done like nothing to prevent Dokkan and Trident from existing. And the interesting thing about it was that there was one thing that they had to implement into the game that they hadn't implemented this whole time. I don't remember if it exactly was safety net or safety net was something different, but they just never implemented it until now. So I don't know. Kind of interesting stuff, but nonetheless, though, yeah,
I have no idea.
Yeah, very interesting stuff, though. Keep an eye, by the way, like Kayvon said, on the Discord, and, of course, on the TL for updates on that if you are interested in the Dokkan modding scene and stuff like that. But we do have the brand new campaign for Dokkan that went up. According to DBZ Space's translation, this is called Training is Also Crazy. Super Training Campaign. Thank you.
Okay.
Obviously, we have the login bonus. We have the new missions. And we actually have a really, really great banner. This banner kind of surprised me with how good it was. Of course, the brand new Angel Frieza that goes into Angel Golden Frieza. Beerus's first return on this banner. SSBK is on this banner. The homie Kura is on this banner as well. Namek Goku transforming Frieza and the original AGF. A very, very solid banner, if I do say so myself. This is probably, I know for me personally, this has been one of the best banners for me in a while, but I don't know. This might be up there for like best normal Dokkan Fest banner of the year. Like no special celebration.
Definitely has some very niche but very good use.
Yeah,
very good. People wouldn't go out of their way usually on their debut banners.
True. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Namek Goku and Cooler though. Like, I don't know about you, bro.
Beerus is really the only one.
Wait, who?
Beerus is the only one that I could really say debut banner, probably.
Yeah, a lot of people skipped it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But interesting nonetheless. And it was good to see that they were all brought back. Also, is this SSPK's second time returning?
I believe so on JP. I'm not sure.
I don't remember when he came back before. Unless I'm misremembering that. You can let us know in the comments. Nonetheless, though,
I remember.
He came back. We also had the Otherworld category banner go up. By the way, I did want to mention, talking about the Otherworld category as well, if you guys remember the podcast episode where me and Kayvon ranted for like an hour and a half about the fact that they should not introduce all these new categories, and they should just, release some leaders that buff the old categories and some units for that. That's what they did. Frieza boosts Resurrected Warriors and Otherworld Warriors. That's the name of the category, right? I feel like that's wrong. Okay, that's weird. Right. Which is so cool, bro. Because, bro, they watch the pod. No, I'm kidding. But, nonetheless, though.
Shout out.
Yo, shout out to the Bandai Spy, bro. But nonetheless, though, super cool that they're actually going back and doing that. So I hope that they do continue to do that going forward. To be fair, I think that Golden Frieza is actually, I guess Golden Frieza. I was looking at him and thinking Angel Final Form Frieza, but I guess it's the same thing. He kind of stands as a great character, as an example of someone that they could pick where they don't really need to introduce another category for him to lead other categories that already exist. Because, what would they realistically have done for a new category for him?
I honestly don't know.
We have 3 categories that are basically Frieza family at this point. We have 2 categories of characters with halos on their heads with a little bit of difference. This is a very good example of a character that I think that they could apply with 2 categories who, maybe need a boost. I think the Resurrected Warriors didn't need it as much as Otherworld Warriors certainly did. But nonetheless, though, still a great example of that. Maybe they could do some characters that they've either already done or just some characters that would apply to, characters that already have a lot of categories under their belt, but then still apply to some categories that maybe need a little help, like Otherworld Warriors. So, I don't know. Very happy to see it, though. We also did, yes, Pog, as the kids say these days. We did get the Elder Kai banner reset. Of course, we got some Dragonstone sales. We got the 2 new Frieza, the Dokkan event, and the story event for the boy. Every single Tournament of Power event came back, which is very cool. We did get a Battlefield reset as well, a brand new Chain Battle boss as well, that being a brand new End of Z Goku card, which was honestly so good. As well, this should come out in 2 days of this event. We do, or this event being the podcast is the event. Kid Buu's EZA got announced and will be released.
Oh, you should get a down for that soon, then.
Yes, that will be very, very cool to see. I know he is probably one of the more anticipated 120 EZAs, so it will be very cool to see what they do with him. Literally just give him 3 ki, bro, and he'll be fine.
3 ki in defense, he's fine.
Yeah, or, bro, give him 3 ki to all allies, and
that would be good.
That would be so good.
Heck, he doesn't even need to get at this point thanks to the link update.
True.
Give him a passive skill. All links are level 10 automatically.
That would actually be a really interesting passive skill. That would be interesting to do a passive skill that would, change link level. I don't know how that would work, but...
I do not know how that would work either. That would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see. Or that would actually be a cool idea for an event. I guess that would just kind of apply to, some gacha games have, events where you can try out the new unit. Maybe they're link level 10 when you try them out. Or I guess they could do a Legends meme where how they have an event where you can play with your characters at max stars. Maybe they could do one specific event where you could play with your characters at max links to try and, kind of push you to grind link levels a little bit.
That would be neat. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Nonetheless, though, we also did get... Oh, what category is this? This is a category that Kid Buu is going to be weak to. Do you remember what it is? It's slipping my mind.
What are the units on it?
The Super Vegeta, where he's kicking Cell in the stomach. The Metal Cooler Super Saiyan Goku. And the Fizz Super Saiyan Blue Goku that got an Awakening semi-recently.
Is that pure Saiyans then? Probably pure Saiyans.
I'll look at the kanji on my phone.
Because it can't be worthy rivals because no Goku is a worthy rival.
Right. I mean, that would make sense for Kid Buu, I suppose. He's the only one who gives Kid Buu the old 1-2. Yeah. Or, I mean, they are the only ones who give Kid Buu the old 1-2.
Sure, let me check while you continue with JP.
Yeah, we also do have another event that is actually going to be coming out when Kid Buu's event comes out. This is going to be the 200% perfect battle simulation. I don't believe we have info on this event. Let me check the Dokkan Wiki real quick.
I've never even heard of that event.
This is a brand new event that is coming up that has the Frieza in the cocoon on the art. I believe this is going to take place when Goku recruits Frieza for the Tournament of Power, I think.
Interesting. I didn't even see that in the action. That's the facts.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. So that'll be cool to see what that is. I always do like when they do that as well, when they add a little bit of extra, content later in a celebration. I always think that's really cool. Of course, Kid Buu's, yeah, good stuff. Kid Buu's Dokkan event will be live every single day. Raditz's EZA is going to be live every single day. That's an interesting choice, as well as Raditz's event. Maybe, but there is no world tournament listed here. The Learn to Fly event, and then also the Grade 8 Vegeta / Kaioken Goku with the R and SR event, and that hopefully will get a revamp at some point.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. But nonetheless, though, that'll be very interesting to see what that Frieza event is, because, to be honest, I kind of forgot that it was coming as well. When I saw that image, I was like, oh, yeah, that event does exist. So that will be quite interesting to see what that's all about. Of course, keep it to the Discord and for the Twitter for all the information on that, because I'm sure I'll be retweeting it for whoever decides to post info about it, because to my knowledge, we don't have any info about it right at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see. But anyhow, moving on from all of that, basically every single thing that was a part of that went live. The update as well went live for that. There was another feature that was also added in this update that we did not talk about in the preview of the update. We had the ores, we had the Kais. There is now improved display of Limit Z area opening conditions. By tapping the Limit Z area has not been opened. You can move to that stage by tapping the stage displayed in the list. So basically, for example, they use the Zamasu Goku EZA area here. If you can't access an EZA area because you have not done the requirements, i.e. usually playing all the way through a story event or, what have you, then it actually allows you to click on the blanked out event and it tells you, hey, you got to beat this first, which is actually really cool. Because I know that some people were kind of confused as to, why you couldn't play a certain event or something like that. And then they're like, hey, here you go. We got you, bro. So very, very nice. And this was something else interesting that went super under the radar this update. I saw like 2 people talk about this maybe. Implementation of EX skill balls, aka skill orbs. Unlike existing skill balls, EX skill balls are special skill balls that do not disappear when replaced. EX skill balls will appear in the game in the future.
Interesting.
So these are represented by a little infinity symbol in the bottom right-hand corner. So that will be interesting to see how those are implemented. Please note if you replace a normal skill ball with an EX skill ball, the normal skill ball will disappear. Well, that's kind of an F. You can check the details of skill balls from menu, help, how to play skill balls. Again, skill orbs. We're just reading the janky DBZ space translation. And then number 5 for the update as well. Adjustment of special moves for some characters. Mecha Amazing Combined Power. Some effects have been adjusted for the special moves of the Super Saiyan Gotenks who transforms. Oh, interesting. So I guess they just changed some effects and stuff like that. Very cool.
Oh, interesting.
Bug fixes as well. So it'll be interesting to see when we get more information about the EX skill orbs. Kind of weird that they decided to added in this update, though I do suppose that theoretically everything necessary for this to be released is already in the game, because the files for the little infinity symbols are already in the game, and that's literally all they have to do. They basically just have to, put the sticker on the normal skill orbs. So I suppose that means that this will probably be released during this update and before the next update comes to the game. So that'll be interesting. Yeah. I
want to say,
yeah, what's up?
You didn't mention it, but also another thing I noticed: Extreme Z areas are now challengeable through the Portal of Memories.
Oh, so you can now use keys on Extreme Z areas.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That's a big pog, bro. Also, you can
very nice addition, honestly. Okay, hold on.
But yes, very good addition. I highly agree with you.
Okay.
Anyhow, though, there was a brand new bug that was apparently confirmed in the newest version. When updating to version 4.12.0 on a specific terminal, the level of Hercule image may become 1. Interesting. The bug is the level display only does not affect as any. Oh, so basically it was just an error on the Hercule Zenny stage, but it doesn't actually affect anything. It's just a visual bug.
Huh.
Interesting. If you tap the OK button continuously in the warning dialog when you use a special sticker, the app may be forcibly terminated. Interesting. If the above problem occurs, restarting the app normally may affect the special sticker to the character. Interesting. Let's see. We do want to talk about something else that happened with the app update as well that I don't know if it's technically listed here. Details of the bonus meant prize money for... Oh, okay. So basically, they were just fixing up the Hercule event, essentially. Very interesting. There's a bunch of bugs with this update.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
This update's a little buggy. The game was running super slow too.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say. They I don't know what they did this update, but the game loads super slowly, and when you get to the home screen, the menu takes like a whole minute and a half to load.
Bro, I was trying to get my login bonus, and it literally just infinitely loaded. I had to restart the app. I couldn't get my login bonus.
Bro, you got hit with that GER.
I did, bro.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yep.
That's funny. But anyway, for all of the different bugs and stuff like that, we did get some stone compensation for that. That is also part of the reason why the server maintenance was also extended, because, well, you know, they had to fix all the bugs. Other than that, though, the new chain battle went live, and as well, they are still holding, by the way. It will be active for 3 more days, including today from the time of this podcast episode's upload. We did have a questionnaire, aka a survey, go live on both Global and JP. If you put your username in the survey, or I believe it's your friend code, something along those lines, you'll get 7 free stones, which is pretty sick. But the questionnaire, what it actually is for, is your response to the 350 million download celebration, aka the worldwide campaign. So I know most people have already filled this out and done it. I'm actually going to do it after this podcast episode on both Global and JP.
Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome. Because you can do it on JP. You literally just like translate it, and then 7 free stones on both versions, which is Pog. But anyway, though, this is the time. If you have not done the survey yet, and you would love to give Bandai, you know, your thoughts on how the entire celebration went down, definitely hit up the survey. This is something that we'll leave a link to in the description below. We'll leave a link to it for the Global and the JP version. And again, if you put in your proper information at the end, you get 7 stones. So not only can you help improve the game and give your thoughts for a celebration that was relatively disliked by most people, you also getting something free. So not bad.
Yep. Very nice.
But that is just about it for JP. I will say the only other piece of Dokkan news that we really have in terms of JP Dokkan that isn't anything that was put in the game. And I know literally the last upload on this channel was me talking about the actual figures in it. But that's right, baby. We got the Dokkan Ichiban Kuji announced. There was a collaboration for the 6-year anniversary. Now, even though that doesn't necessarily mean anything for the game with the announcement of those figures, because those were all figures that were obviously based off of pre-existing cards, what that does mean is that hopefully coming up here, we will eventually get the unintentional announcement of who the LRs are going to be for the 6-year anniversary through the upcoming figures. The Ichiban Kuji set will get a special figure that will be one of the LRs, and then Bam Presto will be releasing a prize figure as well that will be one of the LRs, and that actually did get announced. Obviously they didn't show what it was. It's just the black circle. Whoa, so hype! LR black circle.
Bruh.
But they did announce that was coming because they announced the February prize figures a couple of days ago. So We may or may not see what those are long before February, because we did get them a little bit earlier in years past. To kind of give you a little bit of perspective on that, for fourth year, the Vegeta figure was the prize figure, and the Kuji figure was Super Saiyan 4 Goku. The prize figure last year for fifth Annie was Gogeta, and the Kuji figure was Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. So hopefully your favorite LR gets the Bam Presto treatment, because the past 2 years, all the Kuji figures have sucked. Which is a real shame, because the LRs look super cool in figure form. But nonetheless, the reason me going on this little tangent is to tell you that we may get those 6th year LRs announced. Definitely between now and February, but a little bit sooner than later. So we will see. There's no concrete date as to when that will happen. Sometimes we've gotten figure leaks before. Before they've happened. Sometimes Bandai themselves will just announce it early for some reason, which is really dumb, but whatever.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, time will tell on that. But I figured I should mention that, because obviously 6th anniversary is, I know, going to be a super big deal for a lot of people.
Definitely.
But that's that. I know. I'm sorry. I know you kept saying something and then I interrupted you. I'm sorry. It's your turn to talk, bro. I'm gonna shut up.
You're fine. Don't worry about it. On to global news. We got the new stage of a Dokkan event teased, which was the Tech Ultimate Gohan, the transforming one.
Mm-hmm.
We also got the thank you present for the worldwide campaign with the beautiful new wallpaper. And we got the announcement of the late autumnal training campaign.
So are they going for like an optimal meme?
I think that word literally means taking place during autumn.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
We have a login bonus, special missions, a normal Dragonstone sale, Gohan's banner, which actually got changed on global. Bardock got removed, and Fizz Beerus came back already.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Indeed. The Survivors category summon banner.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Wait a minute. So does that mean then
Saviors, close enough.
Frieza's banner will be changed then, probably?
If it comes out soon, yes.
Interesting. Okay, continue. Just wanted to make that note clear.
No, you're good. We got the Late Autumn Awakening pack, which is a 20-ticket multi, or 20... One ticket, the one ticket is like $32, gives you a 20-unit multi, guaranteeing a featured unit, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Elder Kai banner, the Gohan's Dokkan event went live. The the Goku and Friends Are Back event came, back with the Awakening for Tarble and Gotenks, which was very cool. We got the limited event for the keys that you got those specific skill orbs for the Goku family units.
Mm-hmm.
Remember during Goku Day way back when?
I do remember that.
Yeah, this is part of Gohan Celebration now, so that's cool.
Interesting.
A new Battlefield went live. I had the Autumn Training ticket that gave us all an extra copy of the Family Kamehameha units. Even though we probably all have them rainbowed already, but...
Nice. Good for newer players, though.
Definitely, yeah. We have some returning story events, the Unknown Battle of Gods and Majin, and Fidel's Flying Technique Tutorial, Tongue Twister.
Love tongue twisters.
The Rising Dragon Carnival for launch in Oceanus that should bring their TURs is coming tomorrow night, actually. Or the night that this goes live. Got him.
Poggers.
A new chain battle for Super Saiyan Broly. So that'll be fun. Raditz Extreme Z area is coming to Global. I thought this was a returning thing, but then I remembered, oh wait, Global hasn't gotten this yet.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's
crazy. Right? The Magical Girl Fighters event is back. We don't know if this will be the revamped one yet, or if this is going to be just for launch in Oceanus, but we'll see. We have Buhan's EZA area coming back, which will let us Extreme Z Awaken the Tech Buff Boo, which is very nice. Still no actual EZA for Global, though, which feels bad, man.
I mean, even on JP, there hasn't been one in a while. Kid Buu is going to be, like,
Well, remember, before the 350 million down celebration, you got Super 17, I believe.
I know, but
Global
that feels
hasn't
like a
even
year
started
ago at
120
this
yet.
point.
I mean, remember, Global hasn't even gone Broly yet.
True.
So we're still and we haven't gone Kale and Caulifla, Dispo and Topo. The list goes on.
Even though they're in the files, but...
a bunch of other story events are coming back, the Broly event and the 2 Saiyan Saga events. And we got a weekend summon announced where we get, you know the drill, we get the 7 tickets over the course of a week, and then we get 7 more from a special mission. And it seems like the banner, we don't know the banner actually yet. Well, it has Android 17 and 18. Maybe it's an Android themed one, probably. We'll need to see. It has LRs on it, so that's always nice. You guys can pull a lucky LR. And besides that, Mana.
I'm charging my attack.
I mean, besides that, the survey that Theo just mentioned on Global, that's about it.
Interesting.
And Hercules is also now permanent, just to let everybody know. So you can still EZA him. You just get, I think, less medals per day, maybe?
It was 3 during the celebration. So is it less than that now?
No, I think it's still 3. Okay, I guess it's just permanent then. Maybe they cost more?
Interesting. We'll have to see. Well, I mean, doesn't matter. My broke account can't afford it.
Dang, bro.
It's fine. I've been grinding the Hercule Zenny stage every day. That's like my login now. I log in, do Hercule Zenny, and log out for my daily login.
Very nice.
Gotta get that bread, bro. That in-game bread, bro. Suffering in real life, suffering in the game. What does life come to?
Yup. But anyways, that is it for our global news. No, see, I'm feeling a little burned out, you know? All that news.
I see where you're going with this. Keep going.
We'll be back after these messages.
And we are back.
Hope you didn't burn yourself out on that ass too much. Got him.
Good transition. Question mark. Speech 100.
I tried my best.
And your best was good enough. Good job.
Aw, thank you.
But anyway,
talk about Dokkan and how game boring.
Well, okay, that's not what we're talking about at all. That could be a completely different podcast episode, to be honest.
Fair.
Today, though, we're going to be talking about burnout in Dokkan, getting burned out in Dokkan, whatever you want to call it. This is quite the interesting topic, at least for me. And I know that this is a topic that I've actually wanted to talk about on the podcast, or at least make a video about at some point, because I think that this is something that people talk about occasionally in the community, but people don't like to acknowledge it, I guess, for some reason. There's like not a weird stigma around it, but people are like, yeah, I'm not really feeling Dokkan, and then it just kind of gets swept under the rug, and it's like, oh, this or that or the other thing. But I wanted to talk about getting burned out in Dokkan, because I feel like it's, well, just realistic, and it's fine if you do, frankly. But I also wanted to talk about why someone might get, I guess first of all, what is getting burnt out in Dokkan, why you might get burnt out in Dokkan, including the voice cracks apparently, and our experiences with getting burnt out in Dokkan, and just in general what you can quote unquote do about it. The answer may surprise you, so stick around. So I guess to start us off here today, let's kind of explain what we mean about getting burnt out in Dokkan. I suppose this definition could be different for other people, but I know for me at least, and you can also give your input on this, feel free, is basically just, actually, ironically enough, what you said in the beginning, getting bored with the game. Kind of not even that, though, because I feel like that's a little bit different, but maybe it applies to you in that way. Go for it. What are you going to say?
It also feels like almost that, like, it almost doesn't feel worth it to play the game at one point. It's like, why play when like for example, I keep getting shafted in summons when I just like play so much. I feel like I'm not getting anywhere type of stuff.
True.
At least that's what it feels like for me with when I get burned out on a game.
I know that it's definitely. I know that the summoning thing can definitely cause that to happen.
Yeah, that's one of the main things I feel for
Yeah,
a lot of people.
bad luck in a gacha game is never a good thing. I don't know. I always feel like that gacha games should have some luck system implemented like that, or some like fallback, because then players don't feel terrible about getting absolutely shafted. But nonetheless, though, getting burned out in Dokkan, for me, I know certainly, is just like when I feel like, at least at the time, right, I'm not really having fun with the game, or I'm just not
Yeah.
enjoying it as much as I usually do, or as much as I used to. Whenever the time period happens with this, maybe you just like log in and you're like, I just don't really feel like playing the game today. Or
It's just not my day.
today's just not my day. Thank you, C rank Sonic quote. But anyhow, you just kind of feel like that you're not really down to clown with Dokkan at the time being. And you're just not
Yeah.
really enjoying yourself with the game. Now, why this may happen, again, like Kayvon said,
The answer
lack
may
of
surprise
summons.
you.
The answer may surprise you. You could, just kind of feel like that you're, in a place where maybe you don't really have a lot to do in the game, or obviously burnout is really easy if you don't pull the new unit in the game, and then, you complete all of the new content, and you're like, well, I guess that's that. Time to close the book, a proverbial book in this case, of course. But it's like you get the feeling like you're not really having fun. And again, it could be caused by the summons, it could be caused by you feeling like you don't really have enough like anything to do in the game, or it could just be that sometimes you're just not really into it. I know that, like, even though I will probably always enjoy, like, a lot of my favorite things, occasionally I'm just not in the mood to participate in whatever it may be. I guess the same could be said for a lot of different things, but I know when it comes to Dokkan, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I just, kind of don't really, don't really feel like playing at the time or whatnot. And frankly, that's okay. But before we get into some solutions and whatnot, Kayvon, do you have any specific stories? Because I know I have one that's like very vivid in my head.
Funny enough, I will say for Dokkan, the only time I really felt not like I didn't want to play, besides the fact that I was probably more invested in other games, funny enough, was during 350 million downloads.
Dang!
Yeah, very easily, because like those, like I just felt the despair arc of summons. Like it didn't help that there wasn't much events to do consistently. The events were all like one and done type stuff. So I realized I was just going in, farming link levels, logging out. That was my only real like case of burnout, if you can even call it that.
Interesting. I definitely, I can definitely understand that, especially because, of course, when it comes to, that celebration specifically, it kind of doesn't help that everyone's spirits were sort of dampened because of the whole excursion. Everybody kind of wasn't in a good mood with the game. None of the homies were feeling Dokkan at the time. Ironically enough, I think my biggest burnout I ever experienced was closer to the era of, I want to say, after Fizz VB and Rose, because I remember when I used to bike ride to an old job of mine. Every day I would talk to a friend of mine on the way to work. And I remember specifically on one bike ride, I don't know why this memory is so vivid in my head, but I remember telling them about like how I wasn't really enjoying the game as much as I, like usually do. Which was like it's also weird. I definitely think the first time that you get burnt out on the game, like it almost feels
Mm.
weird. I don't know if you can agree with this sentiment of mine, but I know when I first experienced this situation, it felt weird because I never really felt like this before when it came to, well, A, games in general, and B, Dokkan specifically, because I'm always invested in Dokkan and like what's the new thing, or like the new events or new characters or whatever. But I remember
Yeah.
feeling like not just that like I didn't really have a strong drive to play, but also that like I was just kind of surprised with myself that that was the case.
It's just a weird feeling when it's just like, wow, I'm really not enjoying this right now.
Yeah, I think it comes a lot from when when you enjoy something that you've enjoyed for a long time, and it relates to something that you really really enjoy, in this case Dragon Ball,
Mm.
and then you kind of get that feeling like I'm not enjoying this as much as I used to. It's kind of hard to accept because it's like, well, why am I not? Um I've had fun with it up until this point. Why should I not be having fun with it now? And as
No, I
well,
definitely agree.
yeah. And as well, it's just like, besides the fact that at least the first time, I know for me, it felt kind of strange when I got burnt out on the game. Then you kind of go
Mm.
down the rabbit hole in your thoughts like, well, should I just stop playing altogether? But then if you're like me and you've invested, a lot of your dragon stones, let's just say, into the game, right?
Yeah.
Um, you almost feel like obligated not to
Mm.
quit because you've put so much time, effort, and moolah into it that it's like,
Yeah.
well, I don't want to quit because I've already put all of this into it that would just be such a waste, to get
Yeah,
rid of it.
even without any like investment of money or whatever, like just the time. So many people, like the time, for example, the time I spent, which is like bordering on over 3 years now. I feel like I can never drop Dokkan even through a burnout because like it's been with me for so long. I wouldn't be me without it. Almost, I feel.
Bro, it's a part of your art, your
It
soul.
is. You're right.
Um,
Yeah.
and I mean, to be fair, I suppose one nice thing about Dokkan, all things considered, is that unless of course it's like a event that is limited to a specific celebration and it's like
Mm.
literally never gonna come back again, uh, all content and all cards in Dokkan will eventually return. Thanos will return. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
because like say if you were burned out right now, you can still play the new Frieza Dokkan Fest in the future, and you can still play the new Frieza story event in the future, whether it returns in a celebration or you decide to play it through keys.
Mm.
um it'll still be available for you to play in the future. So even so, in that regard, you're not really missing content. Obviously, if you don't summon, you're not going to get the new unit. Wow, what a concept.
Yeah.
um
Damn, bruh.
but at the same time, I feel like that is one nice thing about Dokkan, is that, you really can just log in and log out if you really want to. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, it's a little bit more optimal to hit up some of your dailies, at least for stuff that, you feel is a little bit more necessary. Like, I don't really care about getting my 250 Baba points every day, but, if there's a Dragon Stone a day, you can bet your butt I'm certainly logging in and at least doing that.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I'm a broke boy, so that also kind of helps with that. Um, but nonetheless,
Mm.
it is quite the easy game to do with, and it is quite the easy game to kind of just like take a break on. And obviously, if you don't even want to log in, you don't have to. But I mean, the thing that'll kind of stink about that then is that if you log in and it's not a big celebration, you're really not going to have any stones to work with upon logging in.
Yeah.
Like, that's why it's so nice to just log in and then log out, because you're just slowly staving up stones for something that you'll, actually care about coming up in the future, and then you'll actually be able to do some summons on it.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, though, right? I think I think a big point of this discussion that I wanted to make is that it's okay to get burnt out on the game.
Yeah.
Because
I
no,
will
no, no.
say,
Speak. I've been speaking too much.
I was gonna say, I will say, this may sound weird, and I definitely you're right. It's okay to feel burnt out on the game. You shouldn't play something if you're not enjoying it. You should take a break, especially if you think of before dropping it. You should take a break to see. But at the same time, I feel like with a game like Dokkan, personally, I really feel it's really hard to get burnt out naturally.
Really?
Because I don't know, like for me, because maybe it's just some of the gachas I play. Because like if we're talking about a game like not to sidetrack from the Dokkan portion of this, but like a game like Grand Cross or even Dragalia, now that I started playing it, I feel these games are super easy to burn yourself out on.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do everything at once, trying to like build yourself up as quickly as possible to like catch up to people.
Mm-hmm.
Easy material to burn out. But with Dokkan, the game is so simple mechanic wise. It maybe that is both maybe good and bad because all it is so simple. It might also not have that drive for people to continue to play it. It might not keep interest enough.
That's a double-edged
You know what I
sword,
mean?
is what you're saying.
Yeah. So while Dokkan is such a simple game to play and to like enjoy, like so in that way, it's hard to burn out. But at the same time, because it's such a simple and kind of carefree game, the burnout could also be just the fact that like there's not much to do or you're not playing as much as you'd want to.
Mm-hmm.
So you just feel like if I can't play as much as I want, if there's not as much to play as I feel there should be, why play it if I'm not playing it as much as I could be, sort of thing.
Definitely. I feel
So
like no, keep
yeah.
talking. No. If you got something to say it, bro. Because I got a whole nother 10-minute rant to go on.
I was just gonna say, just Burnout and Dokkan just feel so weird from both perspectives because it's either you're shafted from summons or you just feel like you're not enjoying the game, or you just feel like, to me, you're not enjoying the game enough because there's not enough stuff to do almost.
Mm-hmm.
And you want more to do, but there isn't more.
No,
Because it's more of a casual gotcha than anything.
True. No, definitely. I mean,
so it's so weird, I feel.
I think it's a lot easier to get burned out in the sentiment of playing too much if you're a newer player, or maybe like a couple years ago if you were playing around that time.
Oh yeah, like earlier Dokkan is a whole other beast.
Right. Because like it didn't, it doesn't help that nowadays when it comes to this thing in the way of getting burnt out from lack of things to do, if you have a solid category team, 5 million damage here, 4 milli there, 3 milli there, and you're done with the event. I'm sounding like I'm rapping out here, but it's pretty easy to like, slice through everything real quick if you have a decent setup. But, a couple years ago, events were a lot harder. And obviously, I suppose a new player thing kind of works if you're playing during that time and you were newer, or regardless. Obviously, you feel like, oh, well, I have all these units to be able to farm, and I have all this stuff to do because I have all these events to be able to play, and like I can play through the story, and like all these Dokkan events to try out, and all these harder difficulties to be able to reach for. So I definitely think that that's a fair point, that like, you can burn yourself out from maybe playing too much in that regard, especially, or, like us bums who've completed everything in the game 3 times over. And it's like, bruh.
Yes, it's back to link leveling.
Time for your 4 a.m. link leveling. Okay. The other thing I was going to say, though, is ironically enough, and this is also just me personally, but the way that I help keep interest in Dokkan, a lot more so than anything, I suppose, is my involvement with the community. And, well, definitely the fact that, I do Dokkan videos for the channel kind of helps keep that interest. But besides that, I always like to put it in this way. I consume a lot of Dokkan content outside of Dokkan. Whether that's watching Dokkan YouTubers summon on the newest banner, or doing unit showcases, or showcasing some funny teams or something like that, or some other creative ideas that they've done, or, whether it's me running Dokkan assets, or seeing, fan art, or, fan cards that people have made, or, people modding Wave Poo into fighters still blows my mind. Or, of course, in the case of me, I'm creating content myself. that's like not necessarily me playing the game. Like a great example of that is rebuilding the assets, because that series, one episode of that takes a lot longer to make than a lot of other content on my channel, because I have to like rewatch the essay a couple of times, get it in my mind, you know, find the assets again if it's a little bit of an older unit, dig through the particular essay and try and pick out every single piece that's a part of the one frame that I'm trying to capture. And then, you know, crop it all after bringing it all into Photoshop, and then bringing it all into the main thing, and then I can start recording the video.
Even then, rebuilding the assets aside, what we're doing right now is still Dokkan related.
Exactly, bro. This man hit the nail on the head.
Here, yeah, we're here for 2 hours at a time, usually every other weekend, just talking about Dokkan.
Exactly, chilling with the boy.
Exactly.
I just felt that look. You just shot me across the table there. That was good. But it's good stuff, you know, being able to like consume content outside of the game, and it definitely helps to keep interest. I feel like it's almost like when you find a new game and you like, you know, are looking up memes of it, and like, you know, you're looking up the OST, and like you're looking up like, you know, gameplay of it, and like all that sort of stuff. You know, you're seeing what other people are interested in when it comes to the game. And you, see what other people are doing. You know, maybe you visit the subreddit. I know that's you literally every day.
Yeah, right on my Chrome, right here.
Hey, my man. So it's like, you know, when it comes to that sort of thing, you know, especially with Dokkan, I feel like it is a game that has a large, consistently active community, even if the game isn't as active. And I think that's just partially because of the game's nature. It kind of allows you to be able to do that, because obviously, unlike a game, you know, where it's like released, it has all of the hype around it, and maybe they release a DLC or two and people talk about it again, chances are people aren't clamoring about it consistently, because maybe the game isn't getting new content, you know, every single, you know, 2 weeks. So
yeah,
I definitely feel like that helps, all things considered, when it comes to, you know, keeping your interest in the game alive. I mean, I know even some of the homies that are longtime heads of the channel, you know, recently have been like, yeah, I just haven't really been feeling it, but they still stick around because of the people, you know?
Yeah. I think that's like the best thing to do with Dokkan. Like, what I'd recommend if anybody feels like they have a burnout in Dokkan, it's weird because, in my opinion, you can't play Dokkan too much, but you also can't play it too little. Because if you play it too much, if you play it too much, you do everything so quickly, you just burn yourself out right then and there. But if you don't play it enough, then it's harder to get back into it, sort of thing, right? Like, you haven't played it in, like, say, 2 weeks or something, you log back in. It's just like, I don't really feel like playing. Just kind of, like, get sucked out of it, almost.
No, so, I agree.
The best thing to do, really, is just, if you're really not feeling that into Dokkan, just log in, do your dailies. If you want to play an event, go ahead. If not, just go play another game. There's another game for a reason, guys. Come on.
I know. I was going to say, ironically enough, with you kind of talking about how Dokkan is a sort of simple game, I think that is partially why I enjoy the game to an extent, as weirdly as that sounds, because I definitely think that, you know, overall Dokkan should certainly have some more content, but because, you know, it is kind of just the same thing over and over. It's also nice from the perspective of like somebody who plays a lot of different gacha games, because at the moment, we talked about this earlier, I don't know, I think like 6 at the moment, like kind of on and off, but at least logging in every day. So it's like, from that perspective, it's nice because I can balance, different gacha games and play some other games that are maybe a little bit more grindy, all things considered. Like, for example, there's a lot longer content in like Legends, right? Like you have right now live in Legends in terms of long content. There is the new like Vegeta farming the Chrono Crystals thing. There's like a 51 stage Goku Black event. There's the what is the thing called? The rush something.
Space Time Rush.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. There's like 6 stages of that, and in each of those stages, there's like 10 fights that you have to do in each. Not to mention Trunks is up right now if you want to farm him and his Zenkai and do co-op for that. And that's a lot more grindy, all things considered, right?
Which ironically, I do feel like that is the most, those are the most kind of gotchas that you can easily get burned out on.
Bro, they literally
Like,
say,
varied,
gotcha.
Yeah.
But, so it's nice from that kind of perspective because, then it's like, well, I'm able to kind of play some of these longer games, and then when I get, or longer games, some more, in-depth, quote-unquote, gotcha games.
I need you to go a bit harder.
Yeah.
A bit hard, make you work a little bit more.
Right. So when you feel like you're ready to stop playing, you have the option of the other game being available to you, which is pretty nice, right? And obviously, if you get shafted on one game, you can possibly go over to another game and then get a dub on that game too.
That's why I view gotchas as, in a way, just another collection of games. Like, I have a bunch of Switch games. I have a bunch of games on my like Nintendo DS. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. the homie.
Gotcha games are just like another type of game.
True.
Playing one, eventually you're gonna feel like, oh, I don't want to play it much anymore. And granted, gotcha games are always being updated, but like, while you're waiting for a game to update, instead of just playing it and feeling like, what's the point of playing if there's nothing to do? You could just play another game and enjoy yourself there.
True.
And then come back when there's more to do.
And of course, you're not limited to just playing gacha games. Obviously, there's so many different types of video games out there. But obviously, if you're able to play Dokkan, then chances are you can probably play basically every other gacha game on your phone.
You want a game? Sonic 2 is free on Steam. Go buy it.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm gonna do that right now. Thank you for reminding me.
That's a game probably everybody could run.
That's true. Yeah. Nonetheless, though, right? It's like, it's okay to get burnt out on the game, and you shouldn't feel obligated to play it, even if other people around you are playing the game, or, you shouldn't let yourself feel obligated as well, either, to play the game. You should never force yourself to, play it if you really don't want to. And... besides that, I think the wise words of Reggie really resonate in this point here. Something to the effect of, if a game isn't fun, then why play it?
Yeah, that is true.
And I think that's very good advice, because if you're not enjoying it, then, you shouldn't force yourself to play it. Obviously, we're not really talking about more so the spending aspect of things here, We're more so just talking about things gameplay-wise. Obviously, if you feel burnt out on that, then definitely stop.
Definitely weigh your options.
That could be a whole nother podcast episode as well in and of itself. But nonetheless, though, I think that is basically everything that we have.
I think we really went off on this one, honestly.
Do you mean we burnt out? Listen, it was too easy. The joke was right there.
But anyways, I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Like, genuinely, just obviously, I always want to know what you guys think, but like, about this, I feel pretty passionate about this because, like, I feel burnt out in a lot of games a lot of the time. Dokkan usually isn't one of them, but now I understand a bit why, considering 350 million did me pretty dirty. But
For real, bro. For real.
yeah. Well, I want to know what you guys think, so let us know.
Definitely.
Any closing words to you?
Well, I was just going to say, I especially want to know what you guys know here because, again, I know that this is kind of a topic that I feel like is not only not really talked about, but is also, I don't want to say like sort of a touchy subject, but at the same time, I kind of feel like it's a touchy subject, all things considered, when it really shouldn't be. So, yeah.
No, I agree.
That's about all I had on that. Other than that, though, play what you enjoy, obviously. If you want to, of course, consume more Dokkan content, definitely do that. And that is another good way, by the way, to kind of get your fill as well, I suppose, in, the other regard of things, is obviously you can watch some content. And I know that there's even some people, interestingly enough, who either played Dokkan before or never played Dokkan at all, and they watch Dokkan YouTube content, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah.
So obviously that is a good alternative, all things considered, if you are like, yeah, I don't really have anything to do, but I still want to, play Dokkan or whatever the case may be in that regard. So, yeah, that is definitely an option. I almost sounded like Mario there when he goes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, most certainly let us know what you think in the comment section below. Of course, we always read all the comments. I always take a scroll through and always go look back. And I know that you take a peek as well. Take a little look-see down there. But anyhow, that is going to do it for us for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. We got exciting stuff coming up for episode 50. We'll have to see what we're doing next week, but we're going to start, I believe, potentially putting our final plan into motion for episode 50. It'll be something that we've wanted to do on the podcast for a fat minute now. It's an idea that we've had for a while. I think we presented it way back in like episode 1 too.
I think so, yeah.
And it will be a little bit more unique than our typical podcast episode. We'll probably still do the news just because, it's kind of good to keep track of it and it's kind of a podcast staple. But you guys will see what'll be there instead of our normal discussion topics. So hope you guys enjoy that. But that is going to do it from us. We will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Stay face out there? Something like that, bro. Stay safe out there. And
bye, everybody.
Here at the Extreme Z Podcast. We'll see you in the next one. That's a wrap, boys. We got them.
Bye-bye.